Welcome to the winter sports season premiere of This Week in Anderson High School Athletics here on ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports. I'm Jason Griefer. The boys are back. Chris Newton, Zach McCormick. Gentlemen, I can feel the heat coming through my monitor here. I have to imagine you guys are beyond fired up right now to get the winter sports season rolling.
Oh my gosh, you better believe it. We are. We couldn't wait for break to get over. We couldn't wait to get here and get back in the flow of things. And we're glad we're back with you. This signifies that we're on. So we're thrilled and ready to get it done for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's get right into it because we've got a ton of stuff to cover here. And I want to start off with a couple of the sports that I enjoy talking about with you guys, because I know you guys really, really love bragging on these particular groups of student athletes. But I want to talk about cheer, I want to talk about dance, and I want to talk about gymnastics, and I want to talk about them all right now. I need all details, how they've looked in training, how they looked early in the season. Did you two try out? How did the tryouts go? I need all details right now, please.
All right. Well, first we'll start with gymnastics, because we had our first meet on Saturday, and I'm going to post a bunch of videos today. I got to tell you what, it was awesome. And it's first of all, I had to sneak in the building because no spectators were allowed.
You're an official.
So, well, I went undercover, and I had my leotard on to make it look, but that wasn't a good fit. And I figured this ain't going to work. I wouldn't get thrown out. I'd get arrested. So just put, the glasses and mustache on and snuck in the back corner and hoot and hollered, but they were awesome. This is a group that we're going to be talking about for a while. We got coming back. We got Maddie Bailey, who does everything for us. She's a great senior leader, and a tremendous competitor on every apparatus. Maddie Belcour is back by popular demand. She was another state competitor last year, and again, she does everything so well. Then we got us another one. So we've been working on this girl for a long time now. Abby Pitts is her name. Her dad teaches here, and she's been a great gymnast. She's been a club gymnast, and this is her senior year, and she has decided to come out and be on the squad this year. Wow, she electrified the crowd on Saturday. So you're going to hear these names a ton. But those three, and then, we got a ton of others, Adrian Bauman, Ava Klimkowski, we got a ton of them that, Ava Kolesnikov, we got a ton that are going to be doing a great job for us. And you'll be hearing about them a ton.
Let me turn to the dance expert, Zach, here. Cause I know he's twofold. He's number one, he's a talented dancer anyway. And second, he's getting married in June. So we have to take it up another level here. How's the dance team looking? Come on, you're the expert here. I need a full breakdown.
I'll tell you what, they're awesome, and I don't think anybody in the school works harder and puts more time in than our dance team. I mean, they'll have practices. I mean, they're in the gym, and not even in the gym sometimes. They'll be in the hallways or wherever they can find a place to dance.
Yeah,
and I mean, led by Maya Tilly. I mean, she's awesome. She's a senior who's just a fantastic girl. Robin Johnson, another one. She freaks me out in the middle of the dances because they're always tossing her up and she's flipping in the air with all these girls catching her. So it kind of scares me, but they're awesome. I mean, defending hip hop and pom dance state champions. So we've already seen a couple of their routines, and it's really fun to watch. And these girls, they're a close knit group, which is, it's really just a blast to root for them. And you can hear Newt screaming. He gets the top of the bleachers so he can get the full video coverage of them. And with not as many people in the gym this year, you hear Newt the whole time. So it's fun to watch.
So he sneaks in with the glasses and the mustache. Did you borrow his leotard and see if you can help out?
quarantine after that, you don't want to see me in a leotard.
Okay, we're going back. We're gonna go with the quarantine reasoning, but that's okay.
The one bad thing about dance is the fact that really I can't share too many videos with those right now because, I mean, like the choreography that goes into that is amazing, and you kind of don't want to put all that out for everybody to see and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, Jace, we did this one dance the other night. Idol Ackerbrenner. I mean, she scared the living daylights on me. It was like a bad to the bone dance. And they were, I mean, I felt the whole 2 minutes of the dance, I felt like someone was going to come up and punch me and knock me out during the dance. They were intense as all get out. And then, then they're done and they're smiling and all that. But man, it was a crazy looking dance. I'm fired up for that one to go to the ECC championships.
At least they have the ability to turn the switch off when the routine comes to an end. I think for safety's sake, right?
You ain't kidding. It was scary.
Let's talk about your academic team here, because they're off to a 4-0 start, and they've won the first 4 matches. I'm looking on the ECC website. They won the first 4 matches by a combined 162 points, which I don't know how that's possible, but they just apparently just decided we're just going to answer everything, and the other team we'll maybe give them a few sympathy points. First of all, how does that happen that they win by that much? And secondly, how do they look to continue that role going into this week against Little Miami, who's also unbeaten?
Well, I got to tell you, Zach and I have really been working with these kids in the offseason, really trying to improve their scholastic abilities. We've taken full advantage of the Corona time and really just kind of sat down with our academic quiz team and tried to get them to where we wanted them to get this year. And shoot, I'm still trying to figure out what the words, not what the words mean, but how to pronounce the words. Jeez, Pete. These kids, unbelievable. And Greg Long, our coach, he just does an amazing job with it. But I mean, they are self-motivators. And the fun thing about we bought a new buzzer system. And, we had our first match the other day at home. So I go in there to make sure everything is ready to go. And Greg he's just turning the everything over to the kids. And I'm like, what's going on here? What we need to do? Oh, we don't need to do anything. The kids got it. And it's just, I mean, they attack everything. So as soon as they get the buzzer set up, a cord was out. Patty Sneed goes and finds a cord. She goes home, finds a cord, pulls it out of the wall, I think at her house, so our kids would be all right. Comes back, they put it in, they go back, they're studying. I mean, they're awesome. And I think I'm pretty sure I tweeted about this. That was the first time our academic quiz team has ever scored over 100 points. And the neat thing about that, Jace, it's not, if you score 100 points in basketball, generally that means you're rubbing it in, you're scoring late in the game. You got your starter still in.
Yeah.
In academic quiz, it's totally different because you get, the questions you're asked, you answer them or not. That it's not like you're penalizing the opponents.
Yeah. So
it was awesome to see, but I don't know, the excitement that these kids have within AQT is awesome.
It's good to see that not only that they have the excitement, but that they are self-motivated, especially during the time that we're in right now, when you maybe can't have as much tight camaraderie as you would normally have, which can often be a big thing for a lot of teams, and yet they're still getting the job done. That's certainly good to see. Let's move on. Let's move on to the wrestling mats. They're getting underway, and I know we love talking about them a year ago with the season they had a year ago, and I know one guy in particular we talked about a lot last year and deservedly so, it was McLean Morency, and how he was just wrecking dudes on the mat, pinning them in 12 seconds or just folding them up like a pretzel or what have you. And from what I've seen from your Twitter feed, Newt, it looks like he hasn't stopped. It looks like he's only gotten better. Sam Mizukawa seems like he's following McLean's lead. He's racking pins up left and right here. Let's talk about those two in particular. Zach, I'll start with you. What have you seen from both McLean and Sam going into this season and how they've seemingly turned it up a notch?
Well, I mean, I'll start with Sam. Sam is first and foremost, he's just a phenomenal kid. I mean, his sister Leah, who we were just talking about, the AQT, she's over there. I mean, she's the leader of that squad, and Sam is. They just have a great family, and they work extremely hard, and it is so awesome to see for him that it's paying off right now, because you know that he puts tons of time in the weight room,
Yeah.
and does all the right things, and spent his quarantine and a lot of this tough times doing things that would help him when the season comes around. So it's awesome to see him. And then McLean, I mean, he's just as tough as it gets. I mean, he's coming off an injury right now and comes out. And then I actually wasn't there Saturday, but Newt, I couldn't even see the video because I think he pinned the guy so fast. I mean, he's just one of those kids that he doesn't have an off button. He's attacking his rehab and doing all these things after his injury, just like he's attacking somebody on the mat. And I think that's what's going to make a difference in him, and not just here at Anderson High School, but in his future and whatever he does in college and wrestling, or, I mean, even in his professional life. So he's a great kid. I mean, I think he and his brothers and mom and dad probably wrestle, I mean, all day long. When they're not here at school or in the wrestling mat here, they're probably wrestling at home. So he's just there's not many more kids that are fun to watch like that you really get to see that, I mean, just are kind of on a whole nother level than a lot of people that you see. So it's phenomenal to watch. That's for sure.
Newt, has McLean reached yes sir, no sir status around the school where you want to address him as such because you're afraid of what he might do to you and may just stuff you in a locker?
Jason, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I usually kind of like move the crowd, say, get away. Mm-hmm. Now this kid, you know, the great thing, I mean, he's a super wrestler. He's a super kid. I mean, it's unbelievable, but a leader. I think that's the biggest thing that I would say about McLean Morency.
Yep.
And, you know, he played football for us this year, which
seems perfect for him.
Oh, I mean, I can't remember what he wrestled, if he wrestled 45 or something like that, 145 the other day. But I mean, he played nose tackle for us, you know, and he gets hurt. I mean, he had a bad injury. Mm-hmm. So Saturday was his first day on the mat. And I don't think it was supposed to be Saturday, but to be honest with you, I think he put his doctor in the figure four, and the guy finally gave up and said, okay, you can wrestle. I mean, but what he's brought everybody into the fold. We have wrestlers that are going and lifting weights in the morning that we haven't had in the past, because mm-hmm. he's bringing kids with him. And that is so awesome to see. You know, it's great when you're highly motivated and you can go and do those kind of things. But when you have the ability to bring others with you, then that's a leader. And McLean Morency is that. And so we're excited to see where this group is going to go. And he's definitely going to be the leader.
I'm sure we'll be talking about him a lot as we go through this winter sports season for sure. Let's move on to the hardwood, and let's talk about your girls first. This has not been an easy season for them, to say the least. You know, we get the season opening win over Withrow, and they've dropped 8 straight since. There's no real way to sugarcoat it. They just have not been able to put another win in the win column there. Take us through the season, how it's gone thus far. What's been maybe the biggest challenge or two within the team, and how are they working to get things turned around as they start to head into the second half of the year?
Yeah, and you are right. There's no sugarcoating it. You know, we're struggling. The one thing we would just love to have, and everybody would say this, is some consistency to stuff. And
yeah,
we got quarantined again. So we're currently right now in quarantine. They're back in school. I know this makes so much sense. They're back in school, but they're not allowed to be back on the court. So we're allowed to come back on Thursday here. So we'll get back after it on Saturday. We play Bartels Road at home. So that'll be our first game back. but we knew we knew it was gonna be a tough year. You know, we graduated those 7, 8 seniors.
Yeah.
And we knew we'd kind of be starting from scratch again. But we've got 3 very, very dedicated seniors in Jordan Guy, Sydney Smith, and Katie Doyle. And they're working hard, and it's very frustrating for them. But they know the big picture, and the big picture is to do whatever you can to get things on the right track to set the tone for the future. And we got a bunch of young kids, bunch of them, and they're working hard. And our coaching staff is really getting after them. And, you know, we're just stressing, you know, fundamentals in practice and just trying to get after that and set the tone for the years to come. But that's the one thing, you know, we're getting up plenty of shots. We're just, unfortunately, they're just not falling. And the one thing, and our kids know this, I'll continue to hoot and holler, and Zach will continue to cheer for them, and we'll support them until their energy and their hustle and their effort fails. And when that happens, then we're going to find new kids to get out on the court. And I got to tell you what, these girls fight from the opening tip off to the end of the game, no matter, you know, what the score is. And so we got their back, and there's no doubt about it. And you know, we're excited that we have, you know, I think around 10, 11 games left. We're excited to see how much better we can get. If we happen to win 2 or 3 or 4 games, that's great. But we want to see a product on the court that's better in February than there is in March, or there is in January.
And Zach, you know all about that from your days as a player. Let's move on to the boys' side. I'll start with you with the boys. Pretty good start for the boys right now. 6-2 overall, 4-2 in the ECC, sitting in the 4th spot right now in the league. And of course, you've got the big one coming up with Bartels. You've got Loveland coming up here soon as well. So again, playing well. You know, I want to talk a little bit more with you, Zach, about this rivalry with Bartels Road. You know, you were on the other side of it. You're a Bartels Road Hall of Famer on that side. When this matchup comes between these two right now, because they're sitting at the top of the league right now. They're 5-0 at the top of the league right now. Take us through this matchup, and what is one thing that Anderson must do to win here, and the one thing they must avoid to not get beat?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're going up against your rival, your adrenaline's going. I mean, obviously it's going to be a little bit different this year. And this is, to be honest, the Turpin Anderson it's one of the things that pains me the most this year, especially because, I mean, our seniors, I mean, they don't get to experience the rocking of the gym, the intensity of the crowds and the students, and how much the whole community puts into it. But I mean, for us on the floor, it all comes down to, I mean, cleaning up the glass is what we do, and play defense. I mean, those are going to be the big things. I mean, they got Dominic Contrello, who's a good senior, who, I mean, plays at his pace no matter what. And I think Billy Knott I think he'll be able to do a good job of kind of disrupting his pace and the speed of the game a little bit. And then, I mean, Joey Crone is like a little firecracker. The kid can just score. I mean, so it's, I mean, you got to let him get loose a little bit. And then, I mean, we have 6 guys that are probably 6'4", 6'5", or bigger, who are, I mean, just tough guys. I mean, they clean the glass, and Josh Overbeek has been on a tear the past couple games. I mean, everybody knows him as an outstanding baseball player, but he can get it done on the hardwood. He's just a bull in a china shop, gets to the bucket, gets to the free throw line. And I mean, as long as we shoot more free throws than them and win them or beat them in the rebounding battle, well, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, but nevertheless, right now, solidly in the thick of things. It's a league, it seems like right now, that is up for grabs at this point. Your team's certainly there among those that can contend for the title this year. That's for sure. As we're winding down the episode here today, let's move into the pool. And I want to kind of talk about both the boys and the girls. And one of the things I want to talk about, Newt, I'll start with you. I'm looking at the ECC leaderboard. I'm seeing some youngsters near the top of the ECC leaderboard in various events here. Justin Dostal is just a sophomore. I'm seeing his name pop up, on the leaderboard. there. You've got youngsters on the girls' side. They're doing a lot of big things there as well. And it's interesting to me that you have so much youth that's coming in and producing right away. And I think back to, a season or two ago when it seemed like every week with the girls, it was, what did Grace Hastings do this week? What did Grace Hastings do this week? And of course, she went on to win a state championship. And I'm looking at these youngsters thinking, maybe we've got one or two more waiting in the wings. Is that what you're seeing here? That are they on a similar track right now?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And that's one of the great things about high school sports, and the worst things about high school sports is you get, we've been talking about Grace Hastings for 4 years and so fired up on her. And then all of a sudden she just packs her bags and leaves us, and heads to college. I can't believe she didn't want to stay. But so you get attached to these kids and you're cheering them and you're hooting and hollering, and then their time's over. And then boom, here comes somebody else. And that's what's really neat, is who's going to step in and fill that void. And I got to tell you, we've got a ton of youngsters, Maggie Crowley and does a great job for us. And Lily Cowan just won the Cincinnati Enquirer swimmer athlete of the week, to see her come in and make a name for herself. And that's been a lot of fun. I tell you, one of our freshman phenoms we got here and this is kind of neat because you've heard this name before, O'Toole. Mm-hmm. Maggie O'Toole just went out. When was it? Thursday night, I think it was, over at West Claremont, and just broke the pool record in the 500 and the 200 IM at West Claremont. So you got your kids are going to leave, and now your new ones are coming in, and it's so refreshing to see. And the great thing about this, and our coaches, Phil von Herzenberg, Ed Bachman, and we brought a new one back, an alumni, in Kelly Grimes. They've come back and they really focus on the excitement of the youth. I go over to practice. I've been over to Bartels Road to watch us practice in the pool, because that's where we have to go since our pool is not in operation. Mm-hmm. And the kids are just so excited to be there and to get after it. And Phil does a great job with continuously, he's a I think you would say a player's coach, okay, or a swimmer's coach in that sense. Mm-hmm. But also when he needs to put the foot down and they need to step it up in their training in the pool, he does that a lot too. And so he's incredibly respected by our kids, and he can relate so well to the senior as well as the freshman. And that's why I think we continue to see such great results from these kids, because of the encouragement that they get from our coaching staff and the guidance. And it's a lot of fun. And I think we got Thursday, we're at Milford again. And so, they'll get back at it. And Justin Dostal, on the boys side, Justin Dostal, Logan Maloney, Kyle Grimes, and Nick Gundrum. They got after it in a 400 free relay. And it's just, they're such fun kids to cheer for, because they're so appreciative of everything they get. And it's exciting. We're going to see what's going to happen. And I feel terrible, parents can't go and watch.
Yeah.
And so, it's Zach and mine's job to make sure that these parents know how great their kids are doing, because unfortunately they can't be in the pool with them.
Well, then we certainly appreciate your efforts to do that. And we certainly appreciate your efforts to join us here once again on the podcast. One thing we're going to keep track on as we go forward here, folks, for those who watch this podcast each and every week, Zach and I now have a gentleman's agreement that if one winter sports team goes unbeaten for the rest of the year, he's not going to shave his beard for 6 months. Now, he has a fiance. He's getting married in June. Newt and I have already told him this is just part of it. She'll just have to understand.
Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah, that's just kind of have to go. It's better to ask forgiveness than permission when it comes to something like this. But we're going to keep track of this. One winter sports team at Anderson, all you got to do is go undefeated, win them all, and Zach's going to be like full ZZ Top by the summer. We're pushing for this.
Let's go.
We're gonna keep track of this. So Zach, you're in an interesting position because you can't root for a team. You don't want one of your teams to lose, but you also have a fiance to go home to. So you're kind of handcuffed there, buddy.
I think she knows. I would grow out my beard for 6 months, anytime, any place.
Okay.
That meant that our kids were going to go undefeated.
Just to clarify, Zach,
that one on the chin, literally.
Just to clarify, Zach, where is she right now? Is she within arm's reach?
No, I wouldn't say that if she was.
Thank you. Now there he is. He's understanding it. And with that, we're gonna wrap up the season premiere episode of Winter Sports here. Chris, Zach, appreciate the time.
Thank you for having us back, Chase. We miss you. We're fired up about 2021, baby.
We are as well. This has been the Winter Sports season premiere of This Week in Anderson High School Athletics here on ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.